have a hand on the boat until the 5-minute gun goes off.
Those who are watching and listening online are looking right down the tailpipe there of the U-12, the Graham Trucking, and you can see that crew member's hand right there on that right side fairing. You see the hands up at the top of the screen. Inside 20 seconds to the 5-minute mark. John Walters, we had everybody cut the race course the first time out of the pit area. That's a legal maneuver from front to back where they did it. We will see if it will happen again in our Heat 1B. 2 seconds, 1 second. Mark. 5 minutes. That is the 5-minute mark, and it is time to go racing at the 2023 Homestreet Bank Cup and APBA Gold Cup. Here's who will be racing once again in our Heat 1B. It'll be boat number 11. It is the Legend Yacht Transport presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. It's driven by Jamie Nielsen. It is chartreuse, royal blue. It is trimmed in red. It's going to be joined on the race course by the predominantly red, trimmed in black and silver U-12. The Graham Trucking rookie Bobby King will be behind the wheel of that one. Bobby will be starting on the front row. He is fully qualified. Then you've got the U-40, the boat John was talking about, that he thinks he may have everybody covered in top end speed. That's not everything, but it's a lot. Dustin Eccles will drive that beautiful blue and yellow hydroplane. It's the U-40, the flavor pack. Then we have our qualifying driver, Gunnar O'Farrell, driving the U-60. The Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway. He's got to start on the outside of the field, and he's got to start 5 seconds behind the clock. So we are just a few minutes, in fact 3 minutes and 45 seconds away from the beginning of our Heat 1B, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones racecourse. It's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. John, I was checking that little blurb. I had to read about the safety aspect. I'm looking at the race course. It looks as though maybe one boat cut.
Yeah, Dustin Eccles cut in the flavor pack, just past the start-finish line on the back stretch to the front stretch as they came down. Everybody started on that side of the race course, so it was real short to get to the race course, with the exception of Gunnar. He's over here on the lagoon side, so he had to drive all the way around, which works out just fine for him because, as you mentioned, he'll have to start on the outside lane and 5 seconds off the clock. Now, that's important, the off-the-clock part, because some of these guys, if they have a problem, they could be off the clock themselves, 3 or 4 seconds. He doesn't have to be 5 seconds behind them, but 5 per second after the clock strikes 0.
And we just had an interesting maneuver because Dustin Eccles cut the race course again a second time, but as he came out of the infield and re-entered the race course on the front straightaway, it was made very clear last night at the drivers' meeting, if you come from that infield, as we're watching Bobby King do right here on the front straightaway, when you do that, you have no right-of-way. The boats behind you, coming up behind you, have the right-of-way, but it worked out well for Dustin Eccles because he was way in front of Jamie Nielsen, and he made sure to give his boat a squirt, so he got away, so there was no interference with a boat that was already on the race course, that being Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. Up the backstretch with 155 until the start. Dustin Eccles is up there first. He might be a little bit early. John, you were saying he wanted to be down here at the lower end at a minute. Remember, he can't just slow the boat down. He's got to stay above 80 miles per hour.
Got to stay above 80 miles per hour, maintain a planing attitude. And you want to be about the apex to the exit pin when the 1-minute gun goes off. Now, you've already heard and seen some jockeying going on. If you hear that popping and banging out there, that's a compressor stall where the bleed band is locked closed, and it's getting down to a point where the bleed band is closing and the fuel control gets unhappy and the compressor stalls. Dustin's a little bit early there. If he backs off the throttle here, he risks going under 80 miles an hour and could be penalized a lap or even disqualified. So as we're getting for the countdown for the 1-minute gun right now.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. I think Dustin's going to be okay. He went deep into that corner to scruff off a little bit of time. Now he can swing it back into an inside lane. The boats don't determine their final lane until the entrance pin of the upper corner up by the bridge. So they could still see a lane change at this point, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's the way they're going to come to the line. Dustin Eccles in the U40, the flavor pack, is going to sit in lane number 1. Lane number 2 is going to go to Jamie Nielsen. That is in the Legend Yacht Transport. That is the chartreuse and royal blue. Then it is going to be Bobby King in the red trimmed in black Graham Trucking to U12. We'll have Gunnar O'Farrell on the far outside and trailing the field coming to the line. We are inside 20 seconds until the start. Watch the boats fan out on the top end of the race course, and then a run down to turn number 1. And we are inside 10 seconds. Now look at Bobby King. He's got speed bringing it to the line. Is he too early? We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark. Boats are across the line. Bobby King appears to have a good start, and it is a legal start. It is legal. Bobby King, the rookie, going to take him down to the lower end of the race course, but he's got Jamie Nielsen with him, and also now Nielsen takes over the lead on the inside. Off the corner and coming up the backstretch, Jamie Nielsen, U11 Legend Yacht Transport, looking strong. Again, another good start for Jamie Nielsen, John, as they go up the top end of the race course, but he's got company in Bobby King.
Yeah, Jamie made a really good start up there, and when Dustin got up there a little bit early, he had to slide out wide just a little bit, and Jamie slid inside of him there, got the number 1 lane. So, like I say, I think that flavor pack boat's got a little top end on everybody here. Jamie was able to, reel in Bobby there in the 12 as they got down there, and boy, they've got a real good race going here as they go to the first turn at the end of first lap.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 down to the bottom end of the race course. It is Jamie Nielsen in lane number 1. Bobby King with a good start and a lot of boat speed is sitting in lane number 2. He is in position number 2. And then keep an eye on Dustin Eccles. You said he had top end on everybody. He might, and he's going to try and use it, and he's got his sights set on Bobby King. The race may be for second place, but I'll tell you what, Jamie Nielsen cannot relax. He's got a right side rear view mirror that is full of the rookie Bobby King. Graham Trucking running very strong up the backstretch. We are in the middle of lap number 2. Still anybody's race up at the top end. Where is Gunnar O'Farrell? There he is. He's halfway up the backstretch. So O'Farrell is still running in 4th place. Jamie Nielsen's going to come down and put 2 in the books, and that is going to be in 1st place. But look at the run for 2nd place. Here comes Dustin Eccles on the outside, the flavor pack. He flies the 40 as he drives around Bobby King on the outside. But King's going to have lane position on the inside. This corner is going to be very interesting for our 2nd place battle. It is the flavor pack, U40 Dustin Eccles. He has now taken over 2nd place. He's holding Bobby King in tight, but our leader with a full 2 rooster tails over those 2 boats remains Jamie Nielsen. Legend Yacht Transport presents the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouses at the top end of the course and looking strong. Don't count out Bobby King. He's still got lane position up here, and Dustin Eccles is going to have to drive a great big race course to go outside the wake of Jamie Nielsen. But coming down to pick up a checkered flag here, at least unofficially in our Heat 1B, Jamie Nielsen, U11 Legend Yacht Transport. 2nd place is going to go to Dustin Eccles in the flavor pack. 3rd place to Bobby King in the Graham Trucking, the U12. And coming off the top end of the race course in the U60, the Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway rookie Gunnar O'Farrell. He will come by and he will score. That was an interesting start sequence because we're getting some really good examples of coming to the line too early, having to pull your foot out, lose a little boat speed, etc. And we can see how it can cost you. But I was impressed with the rookie, Bobby King. He put that 12 across the line first. There were others with more boat speed, that being Jamie Nielsen. And Jamie Nielsen's just been doing that all year long.
Jamie's been doing that all year long, you're right. Even last year he was making really good starts and getting the inside lane most places when he put his mind to doing it. He put himself in a position, and kind of the same thing happened in this heat that we saw in the first heat. Somebody made a move, made a commitment to get up there and get that inside lane. In order to do that, they had to get there just a little bit early, and the minute that you have to back off or change lanes to keep from jumping the gun or stay above that 80 mile per hour mark, you become very vulnerable. And Dustin ended up getting himself up up there just a smidgen early, and Jamie saw that move to the inside, made a great start, and was able to hold everybody else off for a lap. So now, we've got the wonder, hoping that we can get through the tech truck here, and everybody was legal.
4 started, 4 finished. And I'm going to apologize a little bit to our fans, both up and down the shoreline and watching on the H1 Unlimited YouTube channel. I got a little bit confused coming off the top end of the race course and down